Good day, students. I'm happy to be here on this platform to meet with you in mathematics. I will be taking you in mathematics throughout the time, and then what we will be discussing today is statistics. And as we can look at the board, we have statistics. It's part of the mathematics, and it's very important for us as human beings. What is it? What is statistics? Statistics is a collection and presentation of data. Somebody may ask, what is data? Data is basic information. Data is basic information. As you can look at the definition of statistics, it has two keywords that are very important in this lesson. So I want you to pay attention so that you remember our adage. We say, simple questions save our time and difficult questions waste our time. So I don't want any question to waste your time any longer. So listen to this lesson properly. Now, we said that statistics has two keywords, and these two keywords are collection and presentation. So we're going to look at them one after the other. Collection as the first one. This one is the way of gathering information. Collection is the way of gathering information. And there are two main ways of gathering information. One, we have listing of the items and use of tally marks. How do we list items when we are collecting data? Listing of data is that you will be writing the items one after the other as it happens. It means you have to set time for yourself to collect such type of data. So you will list them and you will use comma after every element you've written. When you write, you put comma. You write, you put comma. Look at this example. Find out the movement of vehicles such as bus, lorry, motorcycle, car on Gindri-Mangu Road. So what you will now do is you go by the road, set time for yourself, and then you are to list like this. As a car pass, you write. Bus, you write. Motorcycle, you write. Car, like that, you write. All of them we have. Bus, lorry, car, lorry. When you have listed them down like this, you have finished collecting your data. Then the second way of collecting the data is, we said, using tally marks to collect data. Here, you can use tally marks to collect data as in example above. So, what do we mean by tally marks? Tally marks represents strokes. As you draw them, one like this. This one is a stroke. You have another one, another stroke. It means each stroke represents a vehicle. So now you have the solution to it here. That we should use tally marks to find out the movement of vehicle on Gindri-Mangu Road. So you write your vehicle, you write your tally marks, write your items you want to find out. Then as they pass, you go to each column and put one stroke. Like for car, we have 3 strokes, which represent, it means 3 cars pass at that time. We have bus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes, which means 4 buses pass. And then we have lorry. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have 5, the fifth one will cross the first 4 you've written. If they continue, you will continue getting more of them. You will start another journey of the strokes. So we have 5 of them. For motorcycle, it was only one that passed. So you write 1 stroke to represent that one motorcycle. Now this information, you can now represent it for anybody who doesn't know anything to be able to interpret it or know what you have done. So we have presentation, which this presentation is now telling us the ways you can present whatever data you have collected. Now, this is the way of organizing collected data. There are many ways such as frequency table, pictogram, bar chart, histogram, pie chart. At our own level, we have many of the ways you can use to present whatever data you have collected. But for our own level, JS3, we are going to look at these ones that have listed down: frequency table, pictogram, bar chart, histogram, and pie chart. So we are going to look at them one after the other. Now, firstly, frequency table. This is the presentation of data in a tabular form. So as I was telling you that we have frequency table as way of presenting your data. And when you are drawing your table, you have to write your title. You may decide, you start with the title, or after you have drawn your table, you write the title below and underline it. Anyone you like, you can do it, but don't forget, if you omit it, you miss your marks. So now, this one I've started my own with title. Frequency table for vehicle on Mangu Gindiri Road. You now draw a column for your vehicles, column for your tally marks, column for your frequency values. And the frequency is represented by F in abbreviation. Now, we have car. From our collection of data, we got 4 cars. This is the tally marks for the cars. And then the frequency value, we use Arabic numeral to represent our frequency values. Lorry, we have 5 of them in our collection, and we have 5 our Arabic numeral. Bus, we have 3 of them, which we have 3 strokes. Then 3 Arabic numeral is our frequency. M-cycle, which is our motorcycle, we have 1 of it, and then 1 Arabic numeral representing it. So this is how you present your data in a tabular form. Anybody that doesn't know what you are doing should be able to understand what you have done. Now the next thing is the pictogram. Pictogram is another way of presenting data in a picture form. You use pictures to represent your idea or whatever thing you have collected, information you have collected. So, in this case, you can use any picture of your choice. What you can draw it very well that they will understand the picture, and then you now draw such pictures. Some people can use cars, some people can use fish, some people can use pencil, and so on. Now, example. Use the same data collected to present them in a pictogram. So you use the same idea we have done for this frequency table to do that of pictogram. Now, use 1 ball to represent 1 vehicle, and you draw the balls to represent 1 each. For car, since we have 4 of them, you are going to draw 4 of the balls, since we say 1 is representing 1 vehicle. For lorry, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, since 1 representing 1. Bus, we have 1, 2, 3, and then motorcycle, you have 1. And that is how, if you are using another picture, that is that picture you have to draw. Just as I spell it out here, that 1 ball represents 1 vehicle. Bar chart. Bar chart is another way where you draw series of bars of equal width with equal gap in between them. So remember, we did our graphs for simultaneous equation, and we have to draw our x and y axis, where I told you that our vertical line is known as our y axis, while our horizontal line is known as our x axis. And the y axis represents our frequency. That is where we will write our frequency, while our x axis represents the vehicles that we collected as our data. Now, the first one, we have car. The car, you have to agree or take it within yourself that between the gaps you have to agree on uniform value or space. So if you are using, I wish you will use your graph paper to draw this particular bar chart. And that one will guide you better, where you decide whether small boxes you use as your gap, and if it is small boxes, some people can use a complete 1 centimeter, but you can decide which gap, how far, how wide the gap will be. For this one that I have only 2 small boxes to represent my gap, and my scale for my y-axis is 1 centimeter represent 1 unit. On my x-axis, I use 2 centimeters to represent 1 vehicle. Now, when I have that, I will now measure my 2 small boxes and leave as my gap. Then I will take from that point of 2 small boxes, I move up since my car, there are 4 in number. I'll move when I reach where 4 is, I stop. To where the gap of car stops, I will take another line up to reach where 4 is, I stop. Then I will close the top of the 2 lines. So that's why I have this closure here. So this is the bar for car. Then for lorry, which is the next item, I will also leave the small boxes, 2 small boxes between the car and the lorry. Then at that point, I will now draw another line. Our lorry, there are 5 in number. So when you reach 5, you stop. You go to where the gap of the lorry stops. You draw another line up. You stop where 5 is. Then you close the top. That is your bar for your lorry. Again, for bus, the same thing you do. You have to leave your 2 small boxes for because we say they have equal gap in between them. So it will also be 2. Then you move up. Our bus, there are 3 in number. Where you reach 3, you stop. You go to where its gap stop. Draw another line up to 3, you stop, and then close the top. That will give you your bar for your bus. The same thing, finally, for our motorcycle. You also leave 2 small boxes. You draw a line up, when you reach 1, your graph will give you exactly the line where 1 is. You stop, and then the gap where it stops for your motorcycle, you draw another line up, then you close the top. You now have how many charts? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our information. We have now represented it on our bar chart. So anywhere you go, you are supposed to remember that it must not be vehicles. The information could be different with other things. And the same principle you apply to draw your bar chart anywhere you go. So I will give you an assignment where you apply all these things we have done today.